Flapping your gums with Vinny and Hessey. Yeah!
All right, what's up, y'all? We are back, flapping your gums. This is we got us a new guest, a little person is coming on to help out with some of our podcasting stuff, some YouTube stuff. Got some new equipment. Finally got a mixer, so I'm pretty stoked about that. So that's cool. Uh, so let's introduce. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi, I'm Alexa
Alexa. Alexa who?
Hessey.
So, yeah, in case you're wondering, this is my daughter. So, hello, daughter.
Hi.
What's today?
Today's Christmas.
It's Christmas Day. Yeah. How was it?
It was awesome.
It was good.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's not over yet, but
well, we're still halfway in. We're halfway, I guess halfway in. So, we don't really set a rule, but we do ask Alexa not to wake us up before 7. Is that the rule? Is that what we try to go for? That's what we shoot for, anyways.
yeah.
But that also does not mean that that's just how we made it. Although I will say that you did do good. I think it was like 6:55 is when you came in and woke us up.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. What time did you get up at?
I got up at 6:25 and I couldn't go back to sleep, so I waited and told myself I'm gonna wake him up at 6:45, and then I extended it for your guys' sleep to 6:50.
Oh, and we're very thankful for that. It extended a whole 10 minutes.
5 minutes.
Or 5 minutes. 5 minutes is good. I think Mom was probably already awake, so.
Yeah, she said she woke up at 6:30.
Oh yeah, so she most certainly was awake. Well, did you get what you wanted?
Yes.
Yeah. Santa came, dropped off all the goods, all the stuff you wanted, asked for, needed. Did you need stuff?
Not technically needed, but wanted.
It's Christmas, huh? So it's more like a want.
Yeah.
Get your wants out.
Christmas list. It's
Yeah.
a want list.
There you go. What'd you have last week? Last weekend? Did you have Nutcracker?
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd that go? How'd the Nutcracker go?
It went pretty well.
So for the listeners, we've talked about you on here before. We've talked about you being a ballerina.
Yes.
So Alexa had a few parts this one.
It did.
And why don't you tell everybody about it?
Okay. Well, a few of the parts I had was opening. So, well, actually, first there's party scene, which is where like Clara and her mom and we're all having like a Christmas kind of party themed. And then we have Aunt Drosselmeyer. It's usually Drosselmeyer's a guy, but this time it was a girl. So Aunt Drosselmeyer, and it was about like Clara gave her like a Nutcracker doll and stuff. It was super. That one's always fun. I got my favorite dress that I wanted to wear, which was super awesome. And then we go into opening where.
What color was your dress?
It was yellow. So I guess it's not really like Christmas themed, but it's really pretty.
I think you're okay to wear yellow because the Nutcracker is a Christmas thing.
Yeah. And then opening is where she goes into like the land of the sweets.
Just keep talking.
And she like goes into like a dream almost, and then she's like dancing with all like the different candies and stuff, and that's like where all the other different dances come in. So opening is where we get to go and bow to the sugar plum fairy, which is the queen of the sweets almost. And then we got to everyone, all like there was different, like you had candy canes and you had Chinese and you had all the different kind of sweets and dances going about to her and like be like, okay, we're gonna dance for you. And then, so that's one of the parts that I was also in. That's the second part I was in. And then I was in a few other parts. I was in, Chinese, Chinese herb tea. I was in candy canes with like the big hula hoops that are formed to look like a candy cane. And then I was in Waltz of the Flowers, which is honestly like my favorite dance that I was in this year. It was super fun. I loved it. And then I was in Finale, which is where it's like the end of the show, obviously. And so everyone goes and they're like dancing around with each other. And then the Nutcracker and Clara say goodbye to everyone. And then, yeah, that's it.
That's Nutcracker in a wrap.
Yeah.
There's a lot of prep going into the Nutcracker.
3 months.
3 months. And I think you were there. You had Mondays off, Tuesdays off for a little bit till the end, and then it was Tuesday through Saturday.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense. Well, good. Yeah, and you did a great job. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Anything else you have about the Nutcracker? Well, didn't you guys go party at Jerry's or something afterwards?
Oh, yeah. We did. We went to Jerry's.
You found out it wasn't as cool as you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
They ran out of, we got there at like, so company, which is, that you can audition for like all the different parts. Well, company has to stay over and clean up the stage because we don't do it obviously at the dance studio.
And the parents.
Yeah, and the parents because, yeah, they're big and buff.
Thank you for that.
And so all the company has to stay, and then we all bring it back to the dance studio, which takes like 45 minutes in itself. But then we got over at Jerry's at like 10 o'clock, around like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
10, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And then, obviously it's late, so they were out of fries and ice cream, so you can get like a milkshake or anything. But I did have a burger, and it was really good.
I think the bummer part of that was I believe they probably still had ice cream. They just had turned the machine off.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, because how do you run out of ice cream?
That's a sad deal. The lady she was rough. She was all by herself. So that was a bummer deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you got? Christmas Day, we did presents and stuff this morning. Had breakfast, all that fun, good stuff. And then what do we do? What do you got coming up? What are we going to do this afternoon?
We go over to somebody's house named Tim and Mickey.
That's Mom's sister's family, huh? Well, her husband's family.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that we got invited over there because they probably just felt bad for us because we just sit at home, the three of us, and do it that way, huh?
Yeah, but it's super fun. It's always fun. We do a little, I don't know if you know this game, but you take like a bunch of stuff and you saran, right? It is a saran wrap.
It is saran wrap, yeah.
You saran wrap it and it's a ball, and you take oven mitts and you have the ball and you have 2 dice, and the person is rolling the dice and you're trying to unwrap the thing to get the gifts out of it because there's gifts inside the saran wrap. And then if they roll doubles, then you have to pass it to them and the mittens, and the next person tries to roll more doubles, and on and on and on.
Right, so it's layers. So they put a gift, they wrap it with cellophane, put another something special, candy. I think you guys have money.
Yeah, there's like gift cards and stuff.
Gift cards, and so they just, you just start wrapping this layer of saran wrap. So they're trying to do with the mittens.
Yeah.
The person's rolling dice, and then once they hit it, you can't pick any more of the cellophane off, right? Then you have to pass it.
Yeah, you have to pass it. And you try, sometimes it's hard, you try to get the layers, not tear it. It's hard not to tear it because sometimes you actually, you have a spot, but it's not the layer, so you're tearing at it. But then after you tear at it, then you find the layer, which you're not really supposed to do, but...
And then get all savage at it.
Yeah.
supposed to just be killing it. Yeah, everybody wants to get it. Because then you can cut. Does it start to be where you can kind of start to see them?
Yeah, you can. And when you get to a point, you can see them.
Yeah, and then that's when you start ripping at it, trying to get it. So the next, you take that gift card or that cash money, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
To Starbucks.
Let's get that frappuccino.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, what else you got? We good? You think that's good? That's a good little starter for you. Little guest. We're gonna have a little guest speaker here. Testing our equipment. All right. Well, thanks, kid. I'm gonna get on the next guest, and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna bring on a buddy that's gonna come on and do a show, step in on the show for the rest of the time.
Okay.
So thanks for coming in and seeing me.
Yeah. See you.
See ya. No, it's too much.
It's too much. Ooh,
What?
I'm big and buff.
Oh my gosh, you're so big and buff.
I'm so big and buff. Mine's so much higher than yours. This is like me sounding like a boy. Like if I was a boy, this is what I'd sound like.
You sound like Paige Green.
That's not nice.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying. I like that. I like that one.
I know, but when Paige goes, well, you know, when she gets all doing her thing.
And I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true, baby. All I want for Christmas is you. Ooh, baby. I don't know anymore. That's all I know.
All right, that'll be good. All right. We are back. What's up, guys? So this is flapping your gums, but it's not the normal. We got a guest speaker on, so I'm Hessey, and this is...
I'm Wes.
Wes, here we go. So we brought Wes on. Vinny's... Who knows what he's doing? I think he's out touring the ocean. Dude, he's a pirate.
That's right.
I don't know what kind of pirate. There's some dirty pirates, huh?
There's some dirty pirates. Yeah.
What they call?
I think he'll if he keeps that beard paint from last week, I think he'll fit the bill though.
Yeah. I hopefully took it with him. So Vinny, hopefully you took your white beard paint with you, so you could go out on the seas.
Santa pirate.
Yeah. So he's out there on a cruise. So we're just continuing on without him. So you listened to the Christmas episode, and Vinny was all dressed up. So I had a couple. Well, we had some comments. We had some comments on YouTube and stuff. So it has to do with the movies.
Oh yeah.
So we had talked about on the last episode the, Die Hard movie. So we had a couple people comment and stuff on YouTube, and they were talking about. First of all, I get the Santa Claus. Lee, shout out Lee and Tori. What's up, guys?
Shout out.
They know on the Die Hard movie being Christmas.
Oh yeah.
So do you agree with that?
I think it is. I also like your take of First Blood Rambo.
Yeah, that's a new.
I'm in on it. I am so in. I've seen the Rambo series probably 4 times now.
Yeah.
I'm adding it to the list.
Yeah,
It's a yearly occurrence now.
I didn't even know First Blood was a Christmas one, and when I started looking at like Christmas movies and kind of putting in my notes stuff for doing the podcast, somebody out of random. I mean, I've never even thought of it to be, but there was in the time he's in the.
He's in the jailhouse, right?
The jailhouse. I don't know if it's like right there before they hose him down, or like right when he gets arrested or something. It makes me want to watch it again for sure. It's been years.
It'll probably happen at some point this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So there's like a Christmas tree and like some presents and stuff. So they say negative on the Die Hard being a Christmas movie, which I agree. I think it's in the time frame of. So it's not actually a Christmas movie. It's just happening during this season.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it kind of like, what are your prerequisites?
Well, I mean,
What-
you gotta have Santa Claus in there. I feel like.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
elves or presents.
I mean, are you in the world of if there is a Christmas tree in the movie, is it in the category?
No.
You need more than that.
Yeah, that's just during season time.
So it's got to be more than just the season.
Yeah, you got to be handing out presents.
Okay.
Maybe a naughty nice list.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, there's quite a few. There's quite a few things that make a Christmas movie, and Die Hard has none of those.
Okay. Fair enough. That's fair. I wouldn't say the theme of the movie's Christmas-esque.
Not very cheery.
Outside of outside of the time of year, yeah, you're pretty correct. I mean, like you put it up against something like Elf,
Yeah, not even close.
far different.
Yeah. Well, they like Tori and Lee were about the movie Santa Claus with Tim Allen. So
Love
that was Lee's. I think that just kind of shows his age, like the Tim Allen era.
Yeah.
Like what's that show he played on where he's like a handyman, Home Improvement.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think he probably loved that show.
100%.
He's not very handy, but he probably liked watching
Yeah.
somebody be handy. You know what I mean?
There's few Christmas movies that are gonna get by Jim Carrey's The Grinch though.
Okay, so the Grinch, dude. So that guy overacts for sure,
100%.
and it's amazing.
But if you're gonna be the Grinch, you have to overact.
Oh, yeah, for sure, 100%. Have
Yeah.
you ever seen Liar Liar?
With him,
He's
Jim
a
Carrey.
lawyer, and he can't lie.
Yeah.
And at the end, the spoof, the other lady, the redhead lady that was lawyer, she's like, overacting. You're like on the spoof.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Yes,
Yeah,
Man
that's him
too.
for sure, dude.
Yeah.
So they talked about the Santa Claus one, so they both were agreeing on that, which I think he does really well. But yeah, so that's cool. I wanted to hit you up about the movies because they had commented, so I wanted to kind of.
I'm all in on Rambo though.
Dude, I think it's amazing. I think it's right there with the Die Hard thing. You can't really say it's a Christmas movie. I mean, a lot of people probably could argue because I know there's like a huge thing that they argue that that Die Hard is, but
There's a huge. Are you going to watch those two movies on Christmas now though?
So, did you hear when I asked Danny? Because he's like, "Oh, it's a Christmas movie." I go,
Oh,
"When's
he
the last time
agrees.
you watched it on Christmas?" He's like, "Never."
See.
Yeah.
Are you going to now though? Is the
No.
question.
No.
I might.
No. I mean, I'm gonna watch Rambo, but it's probably gonna be in the next day or two because
Yeah.
we're coming into New Year's, and so I got some time off. I'm
Yeah.
sure. So Wes does too, but we'll get into that part of it. So moving, so that's perfect time. That moves us into our movies. It's New Year's, so I was gonna hit you up. What do you got going for the new year? That's this. So for the listeners, this will be. Let's see. I'll be putting it out. I
Probably
guess I'll just put it out.
First
Let's do this will be like a New Year's edition.
Monday.
So I'll put it out Monday instead of Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we'll do it Monday. So this is actual New Year's when this will be coming out. So
Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year's.
Yeah.
2024, dude. How
It's weird.
fast did it get here?
Yeah, it's weird to me that in a year we'll be the same distance from 2050 as we were to 2K.
Huh.
That's a weird thing to think about.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. That's mind blowing.
25
Just
years
think
away.
about that.
But yeah,
Right
I
in the
mean,
middle. We're right in the middle.
I feel like the years since we've gotten past 2020 have been getting slightly better each year. So hopefully the best one yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're breathing, right?
yeah, God bless everybody.
Amen, brother.
Yeah,
God gave us another day, another month, another year, another minute. So,
that's right.
amen to that.
I love it. Yeah, Happy
Same.
New Year's, everybody.
Yeah, dude, that's rad. You got any resolutions? I love resolutions, everybody. I don't necessarily do them, but I would like to hear if you do.
I think there's a few things that I could stay more organized at work. Probably.
Okay.
I've got 150 some odd
So
students this year.
we're right there. I don't want to get
Yeah.
off on a squirrel hole, but what do you do?
I'm a full-time teacher now.
Yeah.
I teach exercise science and nutrition at the high school level, juniors and seniors. And then I coach at the high school too. I coach football and wrestling. But yeah, I mean, a lot of kids, a lot of responsibility, over 150 of them in my class this year. It's kind of easy to get a little off organization wise, but I've been doing pretty well. But I think there's some habits I can throw in to make it a little easier. I think anybody can really do that in anything, but
So you mean like organize, like getting scheduling stuff, or as you go and look at your desk and there's like old rotten apples, a bunch of paper, and all kinds of stuff?
Probably a little bit of both. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest,
Do kids bring you apples, teacher stuff.
dude, I'll tell you what. Before Christmas break, my kids throw down on snacks.
Okay.
I get a lot of stuff from the
Yeah.
kids. I mean, like gift cards, candies, treats, homemade stuff. It's awesome. I mean, we're off for 2 weeks, so when I go back, a lot of that stuff will still be sitting on the desk.
Oh,
But
you just left her there.
some of it, yeah.
You don't want to take it home.
Some of it,
That's
but-
a lot of stuff.
But
It's
yeah,
bulking season though, right?
yeah,
Winter time.
it's winter. It's
Yeah.
not time to get too lean.
You
But
don't have any resolutions like getting bigger arms or something? You know, go
I don't know if I can get much bigger, to be honest with you.
I know.
I'm surprised this wide angle lens really
You
fits.
really had to back the camera up.
You had to.
Not for his arm.
I don't know if you can tell, guys, but you're about 19 feet away.
It's like when you're shooting the picture of the deer. The guy's like, move back, get behind. You know, they're behind it, not even touching it. You're like, bro, everybody knows.
Right.
It's a forky.
It's like binoculars.
Make it look like an elephant, dude.
It's like binoculars. We had to turn the wide angle lens around.
Just
So it's,
flip them around just so Wes's head could fit it. I mean, his arms could fit in here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Head to.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, like I said, I don't know. I don't know really. I think when you've been, because like for us, we do fitness and we do it all year round. So it's like really, where do you come into it as like a New Year's resolution? Is, you know, a lot of people's fitness, a lot of people's eating better. But I feel like for us, it's like
We do that.
we automatically go to eating better after the holidays. Like during the
100%.
holidays, I don't really worry about what I'm eating so much. I mean, it's funny because I still consciously think about it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't need to eat that much of that, or I shouldn't be eating that. But there's no way. I know people that at work and stuff in these different offices that we go to. They'll be like, oh yeah, we have a potluck, but there's a bunch of us that are doing we're doing dieting. Or
Over the holidays?
yeah, I'm just
No
like, why would you start then?
No.
That is dumb.
Yeah, I mean, like, the holidays is kind of our one time of year, I think, to not focus on dieting.
Yes, it is definitely
Yeah.
like you get you get a break. You do it for 10 months.
Yeah, you get a
break for
3-week
2.
break.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, like the whole resolution thing, I think is kind of built around big changes in your life. And I feel like both of us really, like, habit-wise are pretty solid.
Yeah.
So little things like, I don't know, setting deadlines for myself at work that are earlier than they would have been before the new year would probably be pretty good. I can implement those things, but not a whole lot of big changes, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have, like I said, I mean, get closer to God. I like that one.
Oh, yeah.
I always try to do that because it's every day, every changing, every growth, which just helps me throughout the whole year. You know, he's always there
100%.
for it. So I feel like it's not like a resolution, but it's just like, hey, let's stick to it.
Yeah.
Let's stay going.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that way.
I love it.
All right, then. So let's get some background on Wes here.
Yeah.
We can probably just start. I don't know. We don't really have to start when you were getting getting splattered on the wall as before a kid. But let's think about.
Jeez.
Let's talk about like
Oh, man.
when you growing up as a kid. I guess like where did you grow up in Nevada your whole life?
Yeah, so I think my I'm probably 4th or 5th generation Nevadan, so we've been here a long time.
Okay.
My family's primarily from Eastern Nevada, so if anybody knows, like Battle Mountain, Ely, Elko, those areas. And then shortly before my family had me, they moved into Reno, and that's kind of where I was born and raised. But it's kind of nice, like, moving to a bigger city, not a big city by any means, but kind of with that background of blue collar, small town. I mean, it was kind of nice still having that background and that backbone to our family, blue collar, kind of hardworking people in a big city, you know? So I feel kind of blessed for that. But yeah, just growing up, I mean, to be honest with you, like, life pretty much revolved around sports when I was a kid. School and sports. Prior to middle school, I mean, it was like football, baseball, basketball, track,
So
year round.
You were that way. You did that stuff in.
Like elementary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I
You guys
started
had like the little league program stuff.
Oh yeah,
So Wes is a
city
pup.
leagues.
Wes is a pup when
I'm
it
a
comes to
youngin'.
age. He's young. Well, I guess it depends on who you compare it to, but definitely compared to me, he is a lot younger.
Yeah, my body's young, but I like to say my knees are about twice my age.
Your knees are as old. Your knees are my age.
Yeah.
So I wonder what mine are. God, we don't.
We need to get into that.
We don't even want to talk about. If your knees are my age, oh man, my poor knees, dude. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
they're probably really old. At least the one for sure. Yeah. So when I was growing up, I was in a little smaller town. So sports were big, but it was like when we were in like not junior high, when we were middle school, we didn't have like the small sports programs. They didn't really start taking off just because of my age
Yeah.
until I think when I was a freshman in high school.
So
I
it
think
started in high school.
The first year I was a freshman in high school, and I think that was the year they started to do like the little league stuff.
Oh, that's interesting.
So like if you were in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, that's what our middle school was.
Right.
And you were a freshman in 9th. And so they started doing the sports.
Yeah.
I think
team
we had
sports.
like Babe Ruth baseball,
Yeah,
I
so
believe.
we had Babe Ruth in middle school. I played baseball and football from probably the time I was 5.
Okay.
I mean, real young. And I went right into like tackle football, all of it.
Yeah, we did
I was straight in.
we did it on our own.
Yeah.
But and this is not politically correct, and I apologize, but we used to play, and all the older people that know, we used to play Samantha Queer.
100%. Oh, yeah. I got many write-ups on the playground for that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I remember we would get in trouble for it because not necessarily so much as of fighting, but like kids would get hurt.
Oh, yeah.
It was basically like rugby without headgear
Oh, yeah.
or control.
And there were no teams. It's just if you have the football,
Yeah.
you're going down.
Yeah, everybody's tag. Well, I mean, and then even as we moved into, we would say, let's go play that. And then we'd go out there and we would still, okay, there would be 14 of us or whatever. So we would go 7-on-7.
Yeah.
So then we were playing actual football, it was full on tackle.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody was, I mean, I remember but like even my mom, dude, would get so mad because I'd come home and just have
All
like
beat up. It's great.
4 shirts.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. My mom used to she didn't really care about me.
Shoes would last about 2 weeks.
Yeah, like my body, mom was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But
You're
my
young.
clothes,
Oh, bad.
oh, she was mad.
It's pricey.
Yeah, dude, here we go back to the DI,
Yeah, yeah.
back to the thrift store.
Send it on over to Big
try-
Five. Get some more
Yeah,
shoes.
we wouldn't get new stuff. We had to go over to the old DI, which is like Desert Industries, like
Yeah.
where people donate stuff, kind of the thrift stores here.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I remember it was crazy. And then then we went into sports. So you were in little league stuff through some people call it junior high, middle school,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Middle school for us was elementary was 1 through 6, and then 7, 8 was middle school for when I was growing up in
When
Reno.
your freshman year, you were
9th.
okay. That's the same
Yeah.
as ours.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you went through you did all your sports stuff, but then you went into high school.
Yeah.
Were you a big kid in high school?
No, I mean,
Still not.
now obviously I'm pretty large now, but I'm a good 6'5". I'm a tall drink of water.
He's for sure. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
No, I'm a
Yeah.
skosh over 6'1" if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But no, in all the way through elementary, middle school, and then my first 2 years of high school, I was actually like normally the smallest kid in my class in the school usually. And then my junior year of high school, just something happened. Parents started feeding me something,
Yeah.
and I shot
That
up.
was
I mean,
painful.
oh, it was the most painful year.
Yeah.
Heels were hurting every night, knees were hurting. They still do, but
I wonder if that's like a thing because I don't know. So comment in, listeners and stuff, smaller people, I should say. I mean, I guess that's the new thing too. You can't say like midget
no.
and dwarf. It's small
Right.
people. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying smaller stature. I mean, small people can comment too. if
Under-
anybody else listen to those. But I want to know if like
5'10"?
people went through that same thing. You know what I mean? Like, because I it's funny because it's like a mirror thing of what you're saying I went through. So
Oh yeah.
as there was girls taller than I was when I was in 8th grade freshman year, sophomore year, I kind of started to get a little bit in some size, but nothing. I started to get taller, but I was still skinny.
Oh yeah.
But then like coming off my sophomore year into my junior year is the same way. Like the
Exactly.
growth pains were ridiculous. Like knees hurt. My heels, like my brothers used to say, because I had they have a growth plate in there,
Yeah.
so it feels bruised when it's growing. And so when I would run, it would hurt so bad, and I couldn't even run fast. It was like I was pulling a piano. So they'd be like, "Dude, it looks like you're pulling a piano."
Couldn't run fast.
Yeah, I couldn't at the time
Still.
because of my heels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was growing. So then I started getting faster and stronger and bigger.
Yeah.
But the same thing, I think I grew like 6-7 inches or something stupid in the summer.
Yeah. It was unreal.
All I did was eat, sleep, hurt, and work out.
100%.
But I want to, you guys comment in. I want to know, I don't know, like say short stature, smaller builds.
Yeah, is that a normal experience? I mean, it was pretty bad. Like, I remember being carried off the field some days with like my heels hurt so bad.
Yeah, that's I had the same
Just
thing.
brutal.
I had to put like foot pads. I had to get these special insoles put in there for cushioning. I couldn't wear the cleats that had the two. I had to do like molded
Oh yeah.
so that they didn't have the two spikes sitting right into your heel.
Nah.
Yeah, dude. So I wonder if you guys had to go through the same thing, or if it's just something that I'm not. It's funny because like when I'm around like people like you and I are around and stuff, like I don't ever think I'm a large person
Right.
until I'm around everybody else,
Right.
and then it's like, okay, over 6 foot and stuff like that seems to be taller version of people now.
Yeah.
I mean,
For
there's
sure.
still huge people farther than us, but
Yeah.
so comment in. Let us know if you did have to go through those excruciating aching
Man, I hope
pains and a lot of sleep. I ate a lot more.
Oh yeah. I remember when I first, like my junior year of high school, you could have lost me between the lines in the football field. I was so skinny.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I was probably, I mean, I had gotten up to 6 foot real quick, and then I probably weighed 165, 175 maybe. And just nothing on me.
I
Just
don't
all
even think I
bones.
got to that until the end of my junior year, and then probably my senior year was my biggest at like
Yeah.
190.
Yeah. I left high school at 185.
Yeah. So we were
Yeah.
pretty close. I just kept growing because then I grew out of my hair, so that happened. So I think if I would have stayed 6'1", I might have hair like you got.
You might have kept it.
I might have that
So-
hair like that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, a couple more inches and it was gone.
it's gone.
That's where it stayed because it did. It still comes up.
So you grew
It
out of
comes
the
up
hair.
it comes up to the side right here, but then that last couple inches is
Yeah.
gone.
So there's a certain inch length that it just
Yeah.
doesn't go above.
100%. So I feel like that's what it was.
It's like the White Cap Mountains, except the bald cap
Yeah,
Hessey.
dude. That's what it is for sure. So I feel like if I had that couple inches shorter, that hair would be up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know.
I think it's okay.
I think it's science, but
Yeah.
somebody else could look it up.
I
Prove
agree.
me wrong, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went through, then you got into high school, you got big, you got strong,
Yeah.
and you started getting after it for football.
Yeah. I mean, the weird thing is, so like sports was always the big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up having like the most success in football. Strangely enough, like I think I was a much better baseball player than I was a football player.
Okay.
Interestingly, but like just my enjoyment of the sports, like football just had my heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it kind of turned into later on in high school, like any time off in the school year that we had was dedicated to camps, workouts, traveling to other schools, visiting colleges. It kind of like towards the end of my high school career, it sort of became the focus of like where my life was going to go, was almost what can I do to get myself to the next level. Early in high school, I was just tiny, kind of unathletic, not strong, was never in the picture. But yeah, towards the end of high school, like sports kind of became the thing.
So that's when you started really. So did you turn gears and like still play baseball your senior year?
Yeah,
But focus more on football and getting stronger faster.
Yeah, I still played baseball all the way through high school, but like in the summer, if we were in summer baseball in high school nowadays goes all year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like our high school summer team plays like 80 some games over the summer. It's unbelievable, but
Yeah.
like it turned into a thing where if I had a camp, like for example, I had a camp at Washington University. We had a couple of baseball games that weekend. I would end up going to the camp for football in place of that. But yeah, it just became what I focused on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Bishop Minogue. It's in Reno, private Catholic school, which is kind of cool. Like having faith kind of built into my education as a kid was good.
Yeah.
As a Christian, it was pretty cool. Getting a good knowledge of like scripture and things like that. Feel pretty blessed for it. And then like now in the working place, being back there, because I'm working at the same high school I graduated from, like being involved in faith life is,
Yeah.
I mean, it's great.
No one who
Yeah.
gave you what you got.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's pretty sweet. But yeah, I went to Bishop Minogue, all 4 years, loved it.
You played basketball?
No,
Did you wrestle?
I didn't wrestle, but family members of mine were very big into wrestling. So I'm the wrestling coach now. I never wrestled competitively, but I've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the work ethic and stuff. You
Right.
got a good work ethic. Coaching.
Right.
You're good at coaching.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't. It's funny because I used to play church ball and stuff, basketball,
Yeah.
but I never played like, I don't even know what's the word I'm looking for, where it's controlled or whatever, what do they call it?
Like the high school teams or
Yeah,
whatever.
they call it now.
City leagues or whatever.
Stuff like that. I never
Yeah.
did any of that. I just played church ball. So then like my buddies were like, oh, you should play basketball, try out for the team.
Yeah.
And then with it kind of being a smaller town, like I was a football player, I started getting better at football.
Yeah.
And then my junior year, I tried out for the basketball team because I had gotten bigger, taller, but the wrestling coach wanted me to wrestle.
Did you wrestle?
No.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wanted to see about the first thing I wanted to do was he hit me up, was like, hey, you want to wrestle? And I was like, I'm trying out for the basketball team.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, I got to wear one of them onesies.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you got to wear singlet. And I'm like,
Oh
I
yeah.
ain't doing
And it's skin tight.
yeah, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's probably the least enticing sport that's ever been created.
Yeah, dude.
For high school
I can't
kids.
wear that. Is that so they can't grab it? Like the suit, you know what I mean? Like,
I think part of it is like one of the things in wrestling is like taking away advantages to other people. So like they don't have the ability to grab onto something.
yeah, grab your suit.
Right.
Just your ham hanging, just my freaking plum just stuffed down in my pants. I wasn't gonna wear one anyway. I was like,
Right.
no, I ain't doing it. And I said,
yeah.
but then it was like, okay, if I try out for the basketball team, I told him, he hounded me and hounded. Coach Thompson was his name,
Couldn't do it.
and he's like, I says, if I don't make the basketball team, then I will try out. I'll try out for
Yeah.
wrestling. And
You made the
I was
basketball
like,
team.
dear Lord, please help me. Because I did not want to wrestle. I wasn't minding wrestling. Like I used to wait, if they had the mats out, during PE or whatever. I remember our heavyweight came in, and I was like, in high school, I was all about like staying clean, smelled good. Like I would shower after PE,
Wrestling's not the sport.
foo it up, and all that stuff. And then I remember our heavyweight came out, and he was this big old dude, sweaty,
Slippery. Oh,
came
yeah.
up behind me because the mats were all rolled out. They were ready for the matches that night. PE was over. I'm sitting up on the bleachers, talking to the ladies or whatever. And this fat, stinky dude rolls up. And, he's just immature because he's just way bigger than he should be in high school.
Yeah.
That's why he's a heavyweight. And then he like grabbed a hold of behind me because he's like, ooh,
Yeah.
like want just to be involved with the girls that are around. He's a dork.
Yeah.
And I got so mad at him that because we were sitting on the lower one, so my feet were on the mats, or right by the mats.
Yeah.
And then he goes and does that behind me, and dude, we end up hitting the mats. Like I'm grabbing him, he's trying to wrestle me to the ground, and he's just sweating and smelling, and I'm all clean, and I was so mad. And so, I mean, I didn't do anything like wrestling move. I don't know what's cheap, what you can't.
Right.
I basically went like MMA on it.
Oh yeah.
So I bull rushed into the ground and just started going on top of him and started like shoving my elbow in his throat and stuff. I mean, just like stuff that was probably for sure not legal.
Right. He started it.
But I whipped his ass. I know that. And because, dude, he made me so mad, bro. Because he smelled. But I ended up making the basketball team.
Oh, good.
I was super excited. I almost did. They're like, oh, we almost cut you. We didn't know who you were. I was like, who's that?
The excitement came from not wrestling, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was like, oh, now that I made the basketball team, I was like, oh, thank you, dear Jesus.
Do not have to wrestle.
Onesie and wrestle dudes. We had a couple chicks, too. Some Indian chicks would get on there.
Yeah.
Never wrestle. I don't know. That's scary, too.
We had a state champ wrestler last year, a girl.
Female.
Super
What
good.
weight?
145.
No kidding.
Beast, yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Stud, yeah.
Chicks, dude, there's some strong chicks out there for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some of them scare me. I don't know. They're probably biters. So,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah. You know, I want to know. I don't want to find out.
I'm not testing the waters.
I know. I need to get some different chairs if we're going to be doing this more. These aren't very comfortable.
That's all right.
I'm going to get some like beanbag chairs or something. Or
Yeah.
like some,
Extra wides.
oh, yeah. We got to get some thick
Yeah.
ones for this guy. Yeah. All right. So you're in high school camps. You're like 185, 190 through senior year. You guys do a lot of weightlifting.
Yeah, so my high school weights coach, his name was Ken Cass. Me and him are still very tight to this day. But like the weight room was kind of like my sanctuary growing up. My
Yeah.
dad was real big into it, so I always kind of thought it was really cool with him doing it a lot. But yeah, like the weight room was kind of my like sanctuary. I think that's part of the reason why I got so lucky with injuries. Just was injury free my whole athletic career. I had a few here and there that weren't very serious, but I think it was because I took the weight room so seriously.
Yeah.
It just kind of helped me on the field, but
Agreed.
weightlifting was really big for sure.
That's where when I started into basketball, I had been lifting weights, you know what I mean? Like but I wasn't super strong by any means.
Right.
And then we got a new coach. He was assistant coach when I was a sophomore into junior year. And then he got the head coach. The only man I've ever been scared of.
That guy.
That guy, Coach Christiansen.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out, brother. If you ever listen to his coach, yeah, he's a stud. But he was just like, he was somebody that would literally, if you did something disrespectful or mouthed off or something like that I think he would beat you to a pulp, and knowingly that he was going to prison and would still do it.
He needed to get the respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. During practice, he'd be like, listen, boys, you don't get this shit right. I got keys. We'll turn the lights on. And my wife knows where I'm at. And my dinner will be sitting in the oven.
Oh, yeah.
And so we'd be out there. He'd flip the lights on and we'd be 3, 4, 5 hours into
Oh, yeah.
work. And he knew we'd all just start getting after each other and make us do it. But I remember watching him. He would get so hyped up that we were coming. It was a big game, whatever it was. We were coming out of halftime. We were leading, and he was getting us amped up. And his thing was, if you were on the sideline, you always wore a helmet.
Yeah.
It never came off unless it had to get fixed or whatever
Right.
it had to do. So as soon as you came out of the locker room, you were helmeted. Didn't have to be strapped up or nothing, but you needed to have it. And I remember one of the dudes rolling out, and he's smacking people on the helmet that, like, if you ain't ready, you might. There were some smaller kids that got to dress out that were coming out. A couple of
whiplash.
them almost hit the ground. Like, they would come out of it.
Oh, yeah.
You'd watch them as you're going down the line.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's whomping these dudes. And some of them are getting out of line. Like, he's hitting them hard. He gets amped. And this dude was like, I mean, he had like some of the Samoan and Tongan guys that he played football with in college.
As
He should've went
coaches.
pro. There's a whole story behind that, but they would come and be like, oh yeah. And his actual name was Clint Christiansen, so they'd call him. Clint would just get stronger throughout the game. So like he was just a beast. Like
Yeah.
fourth quarter, he was the strongest of all of us, the meanest of all of us. So here he is, just amped up. He benched 475, like would rep it.
That's crazy.
He has no neck. He had the biggest legs I've ever seen. He was nuts. And so he's smacking everybody on the helmet. and one of the dudes is running out. One of our like linebackers or linemen, I don't remember who it was. I remember who it was. I don't remember what position he played. Kind of washed out. Dude, and Coach Tricians was just smacking helmets, and he comes running out and just smacks him in the side of the head with no helmet on. Dude, I thought he was going to pass. I thought he knocked him out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was concussed.
It's one way to get your mind right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, so he was a stud. So then we started lifting weights. But I got more hurt in basketball
than football.
Than I did in football. Football, like I broke my pinky, I was stiff arming a dude, and into my pinky got stuck in a helmet and like snapped it up. It was all sticking straight up.
Yeah.
So I just rolled it with a piece of tape.
Fingers are fine.
Stuck it back in place. And then, that kind of stuff beat up for sure. Elbows, joint, muscles, bruises, and scrapes and stuff. But like basketball, blowing ankles and stuff like that. And it was just my knee, I had to have knee surgery.
Yeah.
I think going into my senior year
of high school.
And it was due to basketball. Yeah. My ankles, I'd blown my ankles out left and right multiple times. Terrible.
Yeah.
So probably good that you didn't play basketball.
Right. I got pretty lucky. The worst injury I ever had was in college. I was tackling a guy. We were playing San Diego State.
Well, that's how we're moving in. So we went through high school. So Wes became a stud football player. What position did you play in high school?
So in high school, I was a safety, a running back, and then I was also a specialist. Yeah. So I snapped on punts and field goals. So I ended up having like quite a few like Division II, Division III, NAIA offers for running back and safety. And then all of my like big time, I had a list of offers to be a specialist.
Okay.
In at the Division I level.
So the specialist, that comes down to long snapping.
Snapping, yeah.
So line.
Yeah. And then
you still got to be a lineman. You still got to be explosive, strong, powerful.
Right.
Because you got a long snap it and block.
Right. Block cover.
Yeah.
And then the nice thing is, ended up working out. I ended up staying home. I had gotten an offer from University of Nevada, which is in Reno. And they ended up bringing me on as a nickel, a safety, and a specialist.
Okay.
So I had a full year in college of getting to work and kind of play with the safeties and linebackers a little bit, which is pretty fun.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So you played for UNR how long?
All 4 years.
Okay. So you played football 4 years with UNR.
Yeah. Actually
went to school, when you went to school, you wanted to be a teacher? Is that what you went?
No, so I had actually gotten into college and chose my major based around, I wanted to become an athletic trainer.
Okay.
So like working with athletes and their injuries and things like that. So I majored in kinesiology, exercise science. Pretty fun. I loved it. A lot of difficult classes, but it worked out. And then, I just played ball. I played all 4 years, started in 50 games. It was good. Yeah. College treated me well.
No injuries in college.
Just the one. We were playing San Diego State my freshman year. I went to tackle a guy and I was pushing up off the floor, kind of like a burpee.
Okay.
And then from outside in, some guy rolled into the outside of my elbow.
Oh, so the play was over, but people were getting knocked and flung around.
I had missed the guy.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I went to tackle.
Yeah.
Didn't happen often.
Here it goes. This is the
I had missed. I was tripped, I think.
Is that what it was?
No.
Tripped by the grass?
No.
You could tell that white line?
I just missed.
There were so many white lines.
Yeah.
I tripped on a white line.
They painted one extra thick and I tripped.
That's the painter's fault.
Yeah, but I started getting up to chase after the guy and I had got rolled into. So I had a slight little tear in my, like the Tommy John ligament.
Yeah.
I had a little tear in there, but put a brace on it, played the rest of the season.
It healed up?
Yeah, it's fun.
Good. It's good. I hate watching, like when I watch football, even if it's on a team I don't like, and I like or don't like, whatever, but it's like even if I'm going for the other team, I hate seeing like when somebody gets like that, like a rollover injury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like you see a lineman and he's blocking, and then like they're blowing the whistle and somebody finishes like pushing somebody and then they fall over and then hit the dude in the back of his leg.
It's
and you're
terrible.
Like, oh.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't, it's almost like you have to continue 100% like a few like seconds after the whistle blows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because
I mean, you have to,
or you're going to get hurt.
There's so many plays even where like, if it's an obvious, like the player's down, you won't hear a whistle. like the play's just over. I've
Yeah.
seen that a bunch. I think a lot of that stuff happens like during that. But yeah, injuries are, I never like seeing it.
No, especially when it's like that, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to see an injury at all, but like you're just like, all this, the dude trip. Somebody keeps pushing somebody and they fall over.
Right.
Hit the guy, sideswipe his ankle or something, you know, big
Right.
dude, 300 pounds, planted out there.
Yeah.
So, okay, so then when you went from high school into college,
Yeah.
you came into college, I'm sure you weren't redshirted your first year.
No, I went right in and started.
So for listeners, if you redshirted, then you're basically, you can explain, I guess, what practice squad.
A red shirt is,
You don't
I mean,
lose a year.
it's basically like P squad, practice squad for college.
Yeah.
You're on the roster. You're on the team. You can train with the team, practice with the team, travel with the team. You just cannot play that season.
Right. And so,
So-
that doesn't count against you. So if it's
Right.
a 4-year college,
Yeah.
that's why they have like a 5th-year senior.
Right. Right. So in the NCAA, you get 4 years to play.
Yeah.
And that's like, so you could end up having 2 years on the field. You get an injury, and then they medical redshirt you.
Okay.
You'll sit that 3rd year, and then
Yeah.
you'll play 4th, 5th. You'll get your 4 years
4
of playing.
years too. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Yeah.
when you came in and you started playing, did so I'm sure they had to bulk you up
Oh yeah.
because you were sitting. What'd you come in 190? You said.
I probably stepped on campus a little over 185. I would say it was just entirely too small, way too small.
Okay.
The interesting thing was all the redshirt freshmen that came in, they stuck those guys on something called a Devo lift, which is a developmental lift, which is just extra volume, heavier, usually more difficult to catch those freshmen up to the upperclassmen.
Okay.
Developmental lift.
Yeah.
And it's usually for guys that weren't playing because that week of lifting and Devo lift would usually kind of wreck you. They're pretty hard.
Yeah.
But I was doing Devo lift while playing, so
Just
that they
'cause
could
needed you to get bigger.
they could kind of expedite my
Bigger, faster, stronger.
exactly, yeah.
Gotcha.
But I was severely undersized to be playing Division I football.
Yeah.
But I was pretty fast, athletic. I survived.
So were you undersized but strong?
I was pretty strong.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a pretty strong kid.
Because he's still, so for the listeners, watchers, he's still strong. He's bigger now. But you were a lot bigger from the pictures that I saw
Oh yeah,
on those times. But I feel like it's crazy because when you watch some of the college stuff now, like when you see some of those, cornerbacks, receivers, and stuff like that, they're not big. They're little, like they're skinny. Little
Yeah.
dudes. I mean, they're fast.
a lot of it plays too into like the system that they're in.
Okay, like
If they're playing in a very pro style offense, their receivers could be 6'4", 215, like big
Yeah.
guys.
yeah,
But if you play in a very spread offense like Oregon runs, you're probably going to see a lot more of like the 5'10", 5'11", 170, 180, and they all run like lightning.
yeah.
Right.
That's what I was saying. Because a lot of them, like,
Yeah.
because I just like compare them to like my size. Because I'm like, dude, when they'll be like, oh, he's 6'1", 190 pounds,
Right.
or 190. And I'm like, yeah, he's not very big.
Right.
I mean, but in the sense though, I guess 6'1", 195 is not small either. When you look at, when you're looking at like people,
They're big.
you know what I
people.
mean? That's
Yeah.
still a large person because you
Yeah.
figure like the average is what, 5'10",
Probably 5'10", I'd say.
something like that. You know what I mean? So you have, so I guess then when you're 3 inches taller, 10, 12 pounds heavier, but them guys are, but I'm sure they're super strong.
Oh,
too,
they're-
you know what I mean? Just athletic as heck. To make it that far, no matter what, to make it into college, but to step out of college and go into the pros, regardless of what third string on end of a starter
Right.
is, you have something that sets you apart.
Yeah.
There's a difference in that. That's a big, I feel like that's a huge I mean, I don't know the percentages. I don't have time to look at them. But your percentage of going from college to NFL
It's tiny.
It's tiny. And it's so
Yeah.
small as it is, there is something that is abnormal about the person that makes it to them. I guess I'd say abnormal. Something that sets you apart. Same for you. So going on to that, he played 4 years of college at UNR. Well, I guess it used to be University of Nevada, but now it's like University of Reno.
So it's interesting, like
Wolfpack.
when you talk about the athletic programs, they go by Nevada.
Okay.
When you talk about the school, it's Nevada Reno.
Okay.
And they do that because UNLV, screw the Rebels. I don't like UNLV.
Yeah, we don't like them.
But
Piss off, wankers.
that's right. UNLV goes by University of Nevada, Las Vegas. We're Nevada Reno.
Okay.
There were a few years where UNLV tried to coin Nevada. And we were like,
Yeah.
we're the state school.
Yeah.
Like that's us.
Yeah.
Uh,
Was Reno, Nevada there first?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
By a long time. I mean, I think
Suck it, Vegas.
I think UNLV was a junior college,
Yeah.
like long into University of Nevada's like upbringing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this is Vegas.
There's
There's
that.
everything. Get out
Yeah.
of here.
That's right.
But we don't even want to go there.
Right.
Okay, so then, so when we were talking about that, the separation from going through college into the NFL. So now Wes did go into the NFL.
Yep.
So
Bounced around for 3 years.
yeah, so let's hear about that. So you
yeah.
came out of basically you go in. What did you go into the draft or how does
Yeah.
that work?
So I was a draft eligible player, and I had been talking to a few teams that possibly could have drafted me.
Mhm.
Didn't end up working out for me to get drafted. But the weird thing that happens during the NFL draft is like for the whole 3 days of the draft, you are constantly on the phone with teams. Constantly. Every day, every hour. So even if you don't get drafted, you know where you're going. So the draft had ended, and within 25 minutes, I had already had a team that I was going to sign with.
Okay.
So there are a few like
Because the draft is going on, and then there's the guys that are in the back, like the backdoor dudes are working team players and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Outside.
working cap space
Offside,
and
yeah.
whatever's
Okay.
going on. But yeah, so right out of college, ended up signing with Miami with the Dolphins in 2019. I spent the whole offseason, preseason with them, got to play in those 4 games. And then like 4 days before game 1 of the regular season, they cut me.
Okay.
And then,
That's always stressful.
oh man,
Just a constant waiting just a waiting game where you're just like, I hope, or
Yeah.
they give you like a heads up.
you can kind of tell.
Okay.
Like, they didn't make it like super obvious until last week of preseason, but you can kind of tell. Like,
Okay.
they start making plans and meeting with certain players more than others. Like, you can kind of tell.
Right.
Yeah, so I got released from them, and then spent pretty much the whole 2019-2020 season unsigned as a free agent. And then the last week of the 2019-2020 season, Denver signed me, the Broncos.
Okay.
And so I spent that last week, the whole offseason and the whole preseason with Denver in 2020.
Okay.
Same situation there.
Yeah.
Like 4 days before game 1,
Yeah.
they let me go.
But you're getting paid and taken care of
Oh, yeah.
throughout the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing, and they pay
Yeah.
you like weekly.
Yeah, so off-season pay is like its own set rate, and then
Yeah.
preseason pay, and then
Okay.
in-season. So if you guys, like for those of you wondering, like it might seem like when a guy signs an NFL contract, you see like, oh, 1 year, 600,000.
Like
Like
46 million.
they're not getting that
Yeah.
all year round.
Right.
So NFL contract money is split between the 17-week season.
Okay.
So outside of those 17 weeks, you're getting off-season pay, not your contract money.
Okay.
So if you have a player that signs a $4 million deal and doesn't make it to the regular season, he sees none of that money.
Okay.
Right? So it's only in game weeks
Right.
that you get those checks.
Gotcha.
But like off-season pay is like you're still doing pretty dang good.
Yeah.
you're not.
And they're feeding you and all that stuff.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like you don't have to. You don't have any expenses.
The amenities, like, I mean, they're doing your laundry,
Yeah.
feeding you, training you. The medical care is unbelievable.
And that's all included.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Housing. I mean, you're fine.
Yeah. That's because I was like, man, because I feel like you didn't have, because what we've talked about before, I'm just like, well, you don't really have any, like a car payment if you even had that.
No.
If you had a car, I guess you would have a car payment.
Right. If I enjoyed fancy cars, but whatever.
All right. That's good.
But yeah, and then
So now you're with the Broncos.
I'm with the Broncos. Kind of same situation. Off season, preseason, through that whole thing, and then same thing. 4 days before game 1, regular season, release me.
Okay.
Almost the exact same scenario happens again. So the last week of that 2020 season, start getting workouts. And then in the 2021, I think it'd be 2021-22 season,
Okay.
New England signs me. Patriots. And then kind of like the exact same situation. New England was a little bit more shorter lived. I went through off-season OTAs, which is off-season activities, or organized team activities, but it's just like spring ball in high school or college.
Right.
And then we got through those, and then they released me. But yeah, that was kind of like the gist of my NFL career. And then I had gotten to a point where I was like, man, I'm living at home still, 24 years old. I'm seeing a lot of my friends get like success in careers, building up their home careers. It's stressful because as a free agent, like, it's hard to get a job because I have to tell my boss, hey, tomorrow I could have to leave. Like, I don't know where I'm going to live tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that 3rd year, I kind of like sat down with my family and like I kind of ended things on my terms with football.
Because you basically, you could have kept going.
Yeah.
Because you could have just, basically what you're doing is you're waiting around for that Flacco moment. You know, like, you're just like,
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, well, I could, most likely you were going to get picked up again.
Yeah.
And then are you getting better? Do you think you started to get, you're getting better, probably getting better at the schemes, getting better at reading stuff, quicker play or stronger, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, that would be stressful because you're like, okay, well, I went through, here I am living in this city or town or whatever. And now I'm moving back home and waiting.
Yeah.
Because you just have to wait, right?
You just got to wait.
Because you don't have like a manager.
I had an agent. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
So they're calling around and like checking.
So teams will usually communicate to the agent most of the time.
Yeah.
Occasionally, like a coach would call me directly, but the way that they work those off-season workouts, like if a coach is interested in a player, they will call you. So here's a situation that happened to me. I was working at a gym in Reno, working with young athletes, football, baseball, basketball athletes in the weight room.
Yeah.
I had a pretty like decent sized group of kids. But I remember one evening as I was closing up the gym, I got a call from Houston, the Texans. Said, hey, it's Coach so-and-so with the Houston Texans. We want to fly you out tomorrow for a workout. So pack your bags, be to the airport. Here's your flight. We bought it. Great. Show up the next morning at like 6 a.m. Fly to Houston and then stay in Houston that night. The next morning, they work you out. They get you to the facility at like 6 a.m. They do some medical work to make sure you're fit to do the workout.
Yeah.
You do the workout, and then you're home that afternoon.
So like, what's a workout? Like they just run you through their training stuff?
Yeah. So like based on your position, they'll have that position coach for that team.
Yeah.
Come out to the field.
So you go through like obstacles and then little foot drills.
Yeah, like
check
footwork
your
and like they'll run you through plays, run you through some schemes, see how you recognize with your eyes like different things that teams could run at you.
Right.
See if you're a fit for the system. But I mean, like, it is so quick.
So you just have to be ready all the time.
All the time.
Like so, but I mean,
All
but you
the
always
time.
were you working out and stuff during that time?
Constantly.
Right. So
Yeah,
you were always
constantly.
just staying in shape and ready to go.
Right.
Okay.
But I mean, it's like, hey, we're going to work you out tomorrow. Be
Yeah.
ready, go to the airport.
Sorry, boss. I'm headed to
I'm out.
Texas, so
Right.
you have to have somebody cover for me.
And then the next day, they ship you back home.
Yeah.
Say, hey, we'll give you a call if we need you.
And then it's
Okay, that's
yeah.
it.
Wow. Dude, that's a lot, man.
It
I mean,
is.
it's cool.
It's cool, but it was
But it's like,
stressful.
yeah, there's definitely stress. There's no setting up. There's no settling in, I guess, until you're they lock you down.
Right.
And I guess what's that? Then you do a contract.
Yeah. So your rookie contract, every rookie contract's the same, which is why I think the NIL in college football is off. Like that's a whole different story, but
Yeah.
a rookie contract, I think it's terrible. They haven't solved the issue.
No, but
So-
they're making a lot of money.
Normally,
And kids are rolling in it.
the problem was these college athletes couldn't afford to live because they weren't making money and they were having their name and likeness used to make money.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the stars on the team are making money. Everyone else is in this same problem.
Yeah.
They haven't fixed a thing.
No.
It's just the superstars are rich.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a weird situation.
I feel like they should this is my take on it, because I don't know huge about it. I just barely started getting into the portal thing, and we'll come back to you're there. We're kind of, it's fine.
Yeah.
We rabbit hole it off, whatever. So the portal thing, going to a different school and all that stuff, whatever. But then the NIL, to where now these dudes were getting paid and getting stuff
it's
slipped under the
unbelievable.
table.
It's unbelievable. The amount of money they're
Now
making
they've
now.
made it it's in the open.
Yeah.
Like now you can just do it freely.
It's a lot of money, too.
And so here's the thing. Here's what I think should happen. Because it's team sport. It's team.
Yeah.
Right? Like those superstars, I mean, say like, what is it, Colorado? Buffalo?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Deion.
Prime, he's a stud. Like he's doing good things for
Yeah.
sure. And just the way he talks, you know, I mean, he's a faith-driven guy too, which is super cool. But he brought a lot of attention to that. He brought a lot of attention to his boys. You know, his kid, Hunter, that kid plays both ways. I think he's a cornerback and a receiver, right?
Yeah, he's
a stud.
He's a stud.
Now, those three guys, his kid that's cornerback, and then the quarterback.
They've got a receiver that also plays cornerback as well.
Yeah, so put those 4 guys against 11 guys, they're still not going to win.
No.
You know what I mean?
They didn't.
Sorry. You have to have 11. So what I think is you take the NIL money, because them dudes is real. They were saying like
Millions.
What's the quarterback? His first name Shiloh Sanders.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
Is that his name? Isn't it Shiloh?
Something like that.
Shiloh.
I'm bad with names.
Somewhere like that. So I'm terrible. But they said it made like $4 million or something in the NIL with all the sponsor stuff he's getting.
Yeah.
So this is my thought on it. That might help. I don't know how they would do. You disperse that out to the whole team.
I agree. I think they could literally make it a team income situation, and then it gets dispersed. Like this team made this much. Yeah. They can split that up.
And it doesn't matter. These guys be like, oh, well, that's my money. And it's like, but you're only as good because
as your teammate. Yeah.
Like you could go out there and throw a football around all you want. I mean, look when your line didn't hold up when they played UCLA.
Right.
The Shiloh or whatever, the quarterback got sacked like 7 or 8 times.
Right.
I mean, you looked like ass. So should we not blame it on the lineman? Should we now?
Right.
Should we? Since you played so terrible and you looked crappy, should we take the money back?
Right.
You know, I mean, it's so I see where they're going to be like a lot of a selfish part of it will be like, oh no, I'm making this money.
Yeah.
But I think it should be adjusted to where it does go to the team. Because, you got those linemen or those guys that aren't the big stars, that aren't loud and they're not, some of them, I feel like when you watch them, they're looking for something.
Yeah.
They're looking for the clicks or for the social media. So they're acting out. Like some of those kids that you see in college that I feel like that are good players.
Yeah.
And then they don't show up to meetings. They don't act out. They act out because they get this attention.
Yeah.
And so now they're like, okay, well, I'm getting social media. I'm getting attention. I might be able to get me some NIL money.
Yeah. I think a lot of those guys are good enough to get away with a lot of the shenanigans. Yeah. So there are some coaches out there that's like, if you're acting out or not doing what the team rules entail, like you're benched.
Oh yeah, that's how Buffalo. They got that series. If you ever go on there and watch,
Coach Prime,
it's on Prime. Yeah. That second, he flat out them guys. One guy didn't make he's like, oh, I didn't spend time I didn't put time in for
On
his meeting or
his
supposed
film
to go
or
to
something.
whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, they made him go run through drills,
Yeah.
just like miserable drills because he was supposed to be at something, didn't go to it, and then we're basically going out and talking about cutting him, and he's good,
Yeah.
but they're like, dude, we don't put up with this shit.
It's good.
But it's also that's where I think that he's not like he's good, but like why not act out because he just got some screen time.
Right.
He
More
made himself,
clicks, yeah.
I made himself out there, so maybe he'll get a sponsor. So I think a lot of them will start looking for that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it should be, I'm not saying all of it.
Right.
Take a percentage of it and put it to the team.
Yeah.
So those other kids that aren't doing that stuff, they're not still living in poverty and still barely getting by.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's also an issue of like a quarterback of a big school can make $2 million in college, and he can only make $500,000 in the NFL.
Yeah.
Why would you go?
And I think on that sense is not a bad thing because it keeps them in college longer.
Right.
But you're also now taking away, because I thought at first when it was first coming, I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Because it keeps them in college longer, they mature more, and then when they go to the NFL and get that money,
Yeah.
then they're ready for it. Because I feel like a lot of the time they go to the NFL, they leave college super early to go get that money,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're not ready for it.
No,
And
it's
then they have like a complete
real life hits you.
Antonio Brown situation where you just like go off the deep end.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's just a maturity and they're not ready for it. Now they can get whatever they want. They have the money for whatever they want, and it's crazy how they act. So, but now you've gone too far. Because now you're in college. Yeah. You're still young. You're 19, 20 years old, and you're getting $4 million.
Yeah.
Like,
transfer portal's a mess.
And then you wonder why they act out. They're like just a bunch of spoiled little brats and go lose their asses, off or they just transfer to somewhere else because they're, whatever. But, so that was a little rabbit hole went down. You're welcome. Now you pulled away from, you were stressful. You decided to part ways. And so now you're teaching.
Yep. Yeah, so teaching...
You're going into it. You got more of a life now.
Yeah, teaching came a little bit after I had, I always make the joke that I retired at 23.
Yeah, perfect.
I think it's pretty funny.
I like it. Why not? Yeah.
Right?
If I could.
So I ran that program with those kids in the gym for a year.
Okay.
Really loved it. Kind of the hard part about running a program like that is in the times of the year when kids are out of school, you can crush. It's great.
Yeah.
When kids get in school, you start to see traffic in the gym start to fall.
Is it just because they're getting into so much more activity?
Exactly. Right. It's not anything you can change. It's just the way that the school year works for kids.
Because I know my daughter, ballet goes all the time, but she got into ballet and it is consumed my life.
Oh, yeah.
And I have one kid.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what people go through having multiple kids in different sports and travel ball and all that stuff.
I'm trying to keep these kids into this program, and I get a hold of the parents, and they're just I'm sorry, we don't have time. We have to be in this sport. It's okay, I'll see you when it's over.
Yeah.
But for those certain times of the year, it got pretty tough. Interestingly enough, the strength coach I had in high school was still there by the time I was at this point in my life, running this gym program, and called me. He was like, hey, I'm retiring next year. This is my last year. I know we're going to be looking for some people on staff. You should start coming to the school, shadowing me, subbing for a few classes, see how you like it. Yeah. I know they'd love to have you back at the school. And I was like, oh, heck yeah. So I started doing that. I was kind of a full-time sub for that whole year. And then the following year, the high school hired me on full-time as a teacher and coach, which is, I love it.
That's cool.
It's so fun, yeah.
Teaching our youth not to be a bunch of whiny bitches.
That's right.
That's why I've told my daughter sometimes, listen, it's not all unicorns and butterflies, and rainbows.
The real world is a little ruthless.
Your little friends crying and stuff like that. They need to buck up.
Yeah.
She's like, okay.
No, it's good.
So hopefully she's not. Yeah, I don't know, snowflakes. She's
great.
Yeah, I feel like she's doing.
She impresses me all the time.
Good. Yeah, that's what we like. So, all right, but now you're you've come back to reality. You got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Fiance. I don't know what
Girlfriend still.
Still.
Yeah.
Okay.
4
Where are you
years.
at on that situation?
4 years.
Does she listen to this?
Maybe this one.
Oh.
Because I'm on it.
So, and her name is
Addison.
So Addison, we better, I guess then we'll have to be careful what we're going to talk about if she's going to listen to this one. Because we're pushing 4 years now.
Yeah.
You have not popped the question.
No, we're living together. Got a home together. Yeah, everything's been good. I mean, we're kind of like both in a time of like getting our careers set.
Yeah, because you're still young.
Yeah.
You're not even 30 yet?
26. I've done some things in my young life, though, which is awesome.
You retired at 30.
Yeah.
Now 26.
Now 26.
So, all right. So then our next step is you're going to be popping the question. Okay, maybe. All right.
Never know.
You don't. I don't know where to go with this. I feel nervous now because I don't want to get you in trouble if she's going to listen to it.
Oh, no such thing.
She knows, huh? So and then I'm sure you guys want kids. She want kids.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah. Like
when you're like 30.
Yeah.
So you got like a few more years.
I love the thought of having like kids of my own.
Little crotch goblins running around.
Yeah.
Dude, so yeah, do you want multiple?
I'd like to.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many does she want?
I
mean, she's the one that's got to
Right.
push them out. So I guess
I'd say, I don't know, probably the same.
she probably wants like 5,
Maybe.
6.
It's a lot.
Dude,
It's a lot.
They do it.
It's a lot.
I grew up in Mormonville, bro. There's people that have like 9s.
Oh, yeah.
I think Tasha's family, I think on her dad's side, there's like 11 or something.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know how that's even possible.
I had a teammate when I was playing. He had 7 kids.
Dude.
I'm like, how are you playing this sport with 7 kids?
Yeah, dude, like Phillip Rivers, man.
Yeah. I got the chance to play with Fitzpatrick.
Oh, okay.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
he's
see
got
him on Thursday night.
He has a huge family.
Yeah, really?
Oh man, a lot of kids.
No kid.
You know how he's got all those nicknames and stuff too. Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
All of them have jerseys that they wore on game days with his different nicknames on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
He's a funny dude.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one, and I don't. You know what's funny is that Tosh and I never even thought about more.
Really?
Didn't really talk about it. It was just kind of like that thing. She didn't. She grew up in a rough life, and so she didn't even want to have kids.
Oh, really?
She was just like, she thought she was gonna be like a bad mom or something, because just how she was raised.
Yeah.
She's like, no, this ain't my thing.
The thing that's good, like she was aware of it.
Oh yeah.
Like she knew it was bad.
So
that's
basically, I won't want to say. I feel like if I say like I forced her or made her, like that comes across bad.
Yeah.
Like it's like kind of rapey.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah, I don't want to say it like that. But no, it was like you're gonna be great. Like it's gonna be awesome. Like you don't have to be. You can be your own mom. Like you don't have to do how you were raised or
Right.
raised or how people treated you in life. Like be different. Change that pattern. Or whatever.
Right.
And she's like the greatest mom ever. She's
Absolutely.
super,
Yeah.
it's crazy. So, but yeah. So, boy or girl, you don't care. Healthy. That's what they always say.
Whatever God wants.
That's it. That's how I look at it. And when people are like, "Oh, you having another one? You so you can have a boy?" I'm like, "No,
Whatever happens.
yeah, we had one." And then now she's too old to even.
Yeah.
You have another. I'm too old.
It'll happen the way it's supposed to.
But we did it at 30.
Yeah.
Tosh had the spreadsheet. So I'm sure of it. She says no, but
Still planning everything
it
out.
was probably on. Yeah, it was probably on like a thumb drive.
Oh yeah.
See how did that work?
Calendars.
Yeah, this is the time when we got to do it, not do it.
To the second.
Yeah, because
Go.
I'll be lady.
Go.
I was basically just a piece of meat. So that that might happen to you guys too when it comes out, but don't feel bad for it.
Oh, I
It
will.
happens.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not. You're just there like a machine that they're firing up and then send you on your way. I'm just pre-warning you before. And when they have them, they're not pretty. They're ugly. Babies are ugly when they first come.
Yeah. I got 2 little nieces
Did you see them come
that I
out?
was there. No, but I was there for In the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you kind of see it. They're a mess.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I was like, boy. Everybody's like, oh, they're precious. I'm like, that is hideous. Like, what is that? Are they supposed to be that color?
What do you mean?
What is that on there?
Yeah.
They're all slimy. Their heads.
I was jaundiced as a kid too. I was all yellow. Yeah.
Sticky in a light.
Yeah.
Well, see, you know what? It's funny. They probably put you in like a little incubator.
Yeah.
Like in my day, dude.
They had to get an extra large one.
We already talked about your tiny high school days, so you weren't.
I went through waves. Waves.
That melon, they probably had to get a big old beanie. It's all adult size.
I do have a melon on me, dude.
Dude, I mean, you got hair too, so that makes it. That's nice for you.
I mean,
but she's big. We can see it from the side.
It's got depth. You see that?
Angle. It's got it, dude. It's a good looking. I bet you
melon.
look pretty good bald. You ever shaved it?
No. Forehead's too big.
No, that's not a thing.
I think it is.
Okay. Well,
Does your whole head become forehead though?
Yeah.
It's just one.
Mine's basically. There's no end to it.
You just have a
I just
forehead.
have a head. There's no more 4 on it. It's just a head. That's because, like, I think when I was growing out of my hair.
Yeah, because that's how it works.
That's how it works. Yeah, it's science, dude. So, I think as it went, like, you know, they say like you got like a forehead.
Yeah.
Like the 4 fingers, and then it like ended up being
And
a
then
6.
you went to like 8
and
head.
then 8. And then it just kind of rolled itself
It's like-
back. I would kind of comb it forward, like take the hair, and not really like a comb over.
You
but
tried to cover it with
No,
your
no.
hairdo? Yeah, you did. I know.
as it was going back, it was just like the
Pull it
hairstyle,
forward.
like how yours is forward.
Yeah.
You know, and I would just kind of like
You were trying to
straightforward.
hide it.
Well, it looked like I was kind of going with the Russell Crowe look on Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except it started getting receding.
Every day it's going back a little bit more.
It's funny because people ask me, they'll be like, dude, when did you lose your hair? Did you lose it when you were young? And I was like, no, I mean, it was definitely after I graduated.
Yeah.
But I remember there was kids in high school. It was my brother's year. I was a freshman. And there was a couple guys that were, because I was a freshman when they were senior, when he was a senior. And I remember a couple dudes, and his one guy, especially, I don't remember his name, but he was blonde. That dude was almost bald. And he was high school senior.
Transparent bald.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, it was full on receding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was gone. She was gone.
It just happens that way sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, all right. Well, then we're on that next stage in your life to, and we do CrossFit together.
Yeah.
He still lives in Reno, of course, because he's doing school, but he comes down to CrossFit's up with us.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's become a big part of my life too.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're strong mofo for sure.
Yeah, I just couldn't like get rid of that athlete portion of my life. Like I had to have something.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
I remember the first time I ever did CrossFit, I had just gotten home from New England. And my buddy that I was working with at the gym did CrossFit, and I always used to give him so much flack about doing CrossFit. Oh, that's dumb, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what are you ever going to do? Whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh,
I
yeah.
just gave him a whole bunch of
Like we all do.
crap for it all the time.
Yeah.
And one day he was like, hey, I'm going to go train with this guy in Fallon.
Okay.
His name's Sean Sweeney. You should come train with us.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had just come off of an NFL roster. All
Yeah, you thought
Big
he was
house.
all just the big.
I was like,
dog.
dude, I can work out with anybody. I'll be fine. And this was when Sean was prepping for the 20, I don't know which game season it was. But anyway, he was training for the games.
Yeah, he's in game shape.
I remember I showed up to that gym. I could have sworn I needed a wheelchair to get out of there.
Oh yeah.
I was annihilated.
Yeah, I was probably there, up in front of you, finishing.
Probably.
You.
I mean, I was a good 240 at that point.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just hefty. Just no endurance to my body
There's
whatsoever.
nothing. You were used to going like 13 seconds at a time,
Not even that.
and then shutting her down.
I'd
to
about
get a breather.
eight seconds,
Yeah.
about 10 minutes of rest.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then we get done with the warm up, and I'm already having to be shoveled off the floor.
Yeah.
And then we get into the workout, and then the strength piece, and another workout, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. But I will say, the day I drove home from that workout, I was like, I like that stuff.
You drank the Kool-Aid.
This is cool.
Yeah.
And so a few months later, I was doing my first ever CrossFit competition in Reno, and Sweeney showed up. he was there coaching some of the crew that was there competing or whatever. Was like, you should start coming out and training with us. Like, it'd be fun.
Which competition was that? Was that the Battlegrounds?
No, it was at Powerhouse. So it was the Guerrilla Games.
Okay.
Yeah. It was fun, and I was like, had no clue what I was doing.
I think Toshi did that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, man, I was just like, yeah, sure, that'd be great. He was like, hop on the Cowboy Way. And I was like, okay. I was doing like HWP.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out.
Cowboy Way. Cowboy athlete. Sean Sweeney.
But ever since then, just getting coached by Sweeney and
crushing it.
I mean, it's become like as much time as I put into football, like I'm doing the same with CrossFit now.
Yeah.
Like it's become like that.
Oh yeah.
It's replaced.
I think it's funny because when you come out of sports and stuff, and this isn't always the case on everybody. I mean, you can't say that everybody's that way. But when you come out of the sport or that like workout, that ethic, that kind of working out ethic that you have, and that pushing yourself, which I mean, you just have to have some, I don't even know, dude, something weird with yourself, some fuse somewhere, especially like CrossFit, like to do CrossFit.
Oof.
To push yourself to that pain cave, that hurt. Because I remember when you first got on, like when you first started, you didn't want to go there.
No,
that was your Achilles heel. It was like you were super strong, for sure. Probably the strongest guy in the gym at most everything when it comes to weight. But your ass when it came to like pushing into that cardiovascular hurt cave. Which you've gotten way better at for sure. But I remember
I used to get tired so fast.
Talking to Sweeney about that too, and I was like, he's like, oh, he'd be good. I go, yeah, we just got to get him past that mental part of being extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and that's where it's like you have to have something. I feel like there's certain people that have that in them. Because I was just talking about a guy at the firehouse. We were talking about it. He's like, he goes, I know I need to lose weight and I need to get in good shape. His wife's a runner. She loves running. I'm like, I hate it. We were talking about running, and he's like, I go, people used to tell me that all the time. Be like, oh yeah, we're getting, you'll do some 5Ks, you'll get the runner's itch or whatever. And I've done them, and I'm like, I still don't like it. I still don't like to run. I can run. I don't want to do it. Yeah. So he was talking about that. And so his wife's like skinny, in shape, runs all the time, does like half marathons, going to train for some marathon. Yeah. Like a whole thing. And he's just, I mean, if you're listening, bro, you know who I'm talking about. And he's fat. Yeah. And he's out of shape. And it's like he's throwing out his back, his knees hurt. And I'm like, yeah, because you're like 60 pounds overweight, bro. So he was saying, I just don't have it. He's like, you just have to do it. Like, you go and you do it. Yeah. It's your thing. Like, everybody's got it. I don't like missing. I says, that's a time I go, it's part of my life now. Like, he goes, I don't got it. I don't like to do it. Yeah. And I'm like, well, it's because you don't do it. And so it keeps you in that lazy state, I feel.
I even have like friends that'll come and train with us on a random day. Like, oh, I'll come work out with you guys. And like, the workout won't end up going their way, or like something will happen that they don't like or don't enjoy. And they're like, I don't know if like I could ever be up where you guys are at. And I'm like, dude, I spent a full year. Now I'm working on 2 years of like just getting into the hurt every single day. Yeah. Like, you can't just, like, the first couple times ain't gonna move the needle too much. No.
And you gotta you find out to get into that uncomfortableness, but it's like controlled chaos.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like controlling the hurt. You can definitely redline it and just and then you're like, wow.
Yeah. You learn to control yourself when you get into that pain.
Oh yeah. Pacing. Oh yeah. But yeah, so it was funny because he was talking about that. And so we were talking about it, it reminded me of that, because he's just like, no. But I think there's certain, like Vinny, he wasn't big into sports, and we've talked about it on the other the different episodes. Yeah. He played tennis for a little bit. I think he maybe did football his freshman year. Maybe. Yeah. And I don't even think it was much into anything there. That's all he did. And he played, but he wasn't ever never got into weightlifting and nothing like that. And then got married, had kids, all that stuff. And he was fat. And sorry, man, but he was, dude, he was big. There's a picture that I thought, dude, it looks like you've been eating babies, bro. Like, there's one, he's standing there, his arms are all like, they stick out because he's got these man titties, he's got this big old gut. He's wearing a gray shirt. I can still picture it. And it is just tight to where it holds off the belly. Like so his belly would be sticking out because the shirt doesn't lay down and touch his pants.
Oh, yeah.
It's pushed out like that.
Got that gap.
So he was but he was heavier than I was. And he's only like 5'9". He's
still a lot shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he weighed more than I did at a certain point in time. And I was just like, bro. So he got into CrossFit and he started, like, from me talking to him and then just hit him up. And we worked on his diet and stuff like that. But dude coaches now. He's he's CrossFit.
Oh, he coaches now.
He coaches in the morning. Yeah, he's been doing it for like 2 years.
That's
now
awesome.
Or something.
I love that.
Yeah. So he gets up like ass crack early because he coaches he works out at 5 and coaches the 6.
Okay.
So he goes in to work out so he can get his workout done.
So he's getting 2 hours in the gym in the morning and then goes to his packages
home
and stuff.
and he gets ready and stuff because he drives for UPS, so he doesn't have to be to work till, I think he has to leave at like 9:30 or something.
Oh, really?
Because the loaders load their trucks up and stuff. But yeah, dude. Well, hey man, I mean, I think this went well.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to roll on?
No, man. I mean, God bless. Thank you for having me.
Dude, I think thanks for coming on. We'll get you on. Vinny was bummed because he did want to come on. He's like, oh man, I want to be on there with him. And so
I know. We'll have to do another one.
How it goes, but
yeah,
we'll bring it. I want to kind of get like a group. I think I can do like 4 or something.
That'd be fun.
This setup.
If we had like a round table, that'd be a blast.
Get a couple more mics. I got to try to get some sponsors or something. Just dumping money into this thing.
Hey, shout mic companies, reach out.
Well, yeah, hit us up. I tried to get somebody to get a mixer, but Tori tried to help me out on that one too.
Yeah.
That one fell through. Yeah, thanks a lot, Lee. I don't want to mention any names. Starts with L, ends with the E. No, she was it. Yeah, it was funny. She's talking about. But yeah, dude. Hey, I appreciate you coming on. And yeah, Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
God bless. Be safe. And thanks again, Wes.
Later.
All right, later, bud.